Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to create class and functional components. In the last video I showed you guys how to create a React app through npm. We ran the npx create react app command, and that was pretty much it. So if you're unfamiliar with that or haven't done that yet, go ahead and either watch that video or run that command right now to get your React app up. As soon as you have that, we can let's go ahead and start. So like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a class or a functional component. I'm going to start out with class component. In my mind, class components are a little bit messier as far as syntax goes than a functional component. They require a few more lines of code to create, but it's not that much more difficult. So the first thing we're going to want to do is make sure that we have React and component being imported from React, okay? So up at the top, make sure you have this line of code right here. Otherwise, it is not going to work. So to start off with the class component, we're just going to type class and then whatever you name your component. I'm just going to keep it app because I'm exporting it as app. So class app extends component, right? Whoops, extends components, just like that. So this is the basic outline of the class component. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to call on render right here, parentheses, and then curly brackets right there. And inside of render, we're going to, this is where we're going to be returning our JSX or our HTML or whatever we're putting in here, whatever we want. I'm just going to put a simple div in here and we can do hello world. All right. So this is the basic outline of a class component. I'll get a little bit more into state probably in another video. All right, so to view our component in the browser, I'm just going to be using npm start to view it. You could also use live server, I guess, or yarn maybe. It doesn't really matter as long as you are able to view your component. So I'm going to open up my terminal and I'm just going to type npm start, press enter, and this is going to open up the project in a browser window. All right, so now we can see right here it says hello world. Okay, so this is our class component, right? It's fairly simple. We can create our header, right? We can, we have access to all of our HTML elements, the view tag, so world right here. We can have a break right here, a line break, and we can have an input if we want, or a button right here, button, right? So it's it's fairly simple. It's not too complex, right? We can see our header. We have hello world right here. We have our input box, and we have our button right here. Okay. That's pretty much it for a class component as far as the simple explanation goes. As I said earlier, I'll probably get into state using, the constructor and super and whatnot in another video, but I'm going to go ahead and get into functional components now. I'll just go ahead and comment this code out so you guys can still see it. I'm just going to make some space right here. So for a functional component, it's fairly simple. By default, when you create a React app.js, this file that we're in is already a functional component. Okay, so basically we're just going to type function app invoked curly brackets, and then we return. We can put our div hello world. All right. That's pretty much all you need for the for the functional component. You can see it's a few less lines, given I did add some stuff, but it is a few less lines than the class component. You know, you don't need to write class app extends component, and you don't need the render method right here. You also don't need to import component up at the top if you're using a functional component. But yeah, they're pretty similar. We have all of our HTML tags available to us as well. We have our header, you know, we can div right here. Just do the same thing. We have our input, and we can have our button right here, right? And then we can have a key tag right here. Just say hello world. You can have a section with a span in it, saying whatever, hi again. Right, you can see over here it looks pretty much the same as our class component, right? Not much of a difference other than the initial setup. I'll also go into state within functional components in another video. I'll probably do it in the same video that I do it in class components. But I just wanted to show you, there's actually two ways you can write a functional component, at least the beginning of it. You can use the function keyword, just like I have it right here, or you can use the JavaScript ES6 method with an arrow function and do const app, just like that. And it's the same thing. It's still a functional component. It's basically the same as writing function app, right? There's not much of a difference. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the React router so that we can route to several different components. That way we don't have to keep using app.js and switching between two different components. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.